This AI will tell you what's wrong with your pitch deck. So I've reviewed thousands of pitch decks over the years, and at some point I was like, wait a minute, wouldn't it be great if an AI could do this? And so I built one. In the last few days, I launched version 7 of this thing. It's better than ever. It's trained on thousands of pitch decks, and it's actually kind of incredible what level of feedback it can give. Let me show you. So over on TechCrunch about a year ago, I did a pitch deck teardown for the BusRight pitch deck and found the good, the bad, and the ugly. So if you want to read that, I'll add a link. But let's look at what the AI actually did, because that was pretty cool. So I love these AI things that it just creates. Like this graphic just looks so cool. And it was generated just on the information from the pitch deck. And it picked out a name and created this really cool futuristic illustration. Anyway, that doesn't matter. What does matter is that straight off the bat here, it breaks down what works and what doesn't work. So the AI immediately notes that the use of funds is problematic and that the pricing model is a red flag, that there's something wrong with those two things. It also notes that there's a bunch of stuff missing. So competition is missing, operating plan, the ask, that's a problem. Like if you're not telling people how much you're raising, or what's going on. Unit economics, what is hard, and the moat and defendability are all missing from this deck. You can see the page numbers here, but for each of these things, it actually goes into quite a lot of depth, showing what is there and what isn't there. So it's talking about venture scale, and it shows that, well, the TAM is huge, this is great. It analyzes the team. It actually highlights here that the CEO has limited experience in the transportation sector, may actually raise some questions. I mean, yes, that would have been my feedback too, but I mean, it's incredible that AIs can just pick this kind of thing up now and give you direct and pointed feedback on a pitch deck. Market is great, traction is great, the ask. I noticed that the pitch deck for BusRight is missing a clear and specific ask regarding your fundraising goals. And then it talks about why that is important. I mean, isn't that cool? Use of funds, like how are you going to spend your money is crucial, right? And so it says that it doesn't really do that clearly, and that's a red flag. It also mentioned here that only 6% of startups get the use of funds right. So, I mean, look, I built this tool, so clearly I'm super biased, but I love this thing. It really goes into quite a bit of detail. And then it also breaks it down by the priority. So there's a high priority list and a medium priority list, and then a, hey, extra bonus points list. So if you're in a rush and you just need to do a final sense check of your pitch deck, just look at the high priority stuff. If everything's a green flag, great, don't worry about it, keep going. If you're a perfectionist and you want to really deeply think about every aspect of your pitch, you can do that. So let's take a quick look at the rest of the stuff here. Summary, yellow, could be better. Competition is missing. Look, you need a competition slide. Everybody needs a competition slide. I talk about this in great depth, but it's super important. And if you don't have direct competitors, that's fine too, but show how people are currently solving the problem. Business model is great. Pricing, yeah, like maybe as an early stage startup, you're still exploring what your pricing is, but you have to show your thinking. It's super important, right? Anyway, operating plan is missing. That's fine. Lots of people miss that. Unit economics is missing. Why now is missing. Overall story is green. Yeah, they had a great, really interesting pitch deck that worked really well. Exit strategy, they don't have one in there. Great. And then finally, it just throws in some helpful tips here, like make sure to check for spelling and grammar. The AI read the deck and discovered some spelling or grammar mistakes. Great. Like, it doesn't tell you what they are. Maybe that would be helpful. But for now, it's just picking out that, hey, give it a close read because something is wrong. That's great. And then ultimately, it does the, hey, how likely is it that you raise money? In this case, it's high. Well, you would hope so. They did actually raise money. But it also breaks down what the things are that make it high likelihood of fundraising. And if it's not high, like what are the main stumbling blocks? And then at the end here, it does something really cool. So it actually takes the aggregate of all the data it has and reports it back to you. So it shows that the average number of slides is 19, median is 17, and this deck has 14 slides in it, right? So it kind of puts you, benchmarks you. This deck was 74 megabytes big. That is crazy. That is a huge file to be sending around to people. And so the recommendation here is like, look, make it smaller, right? It also breaks down the number of slides and the size of PDF and all that kind of stuff. So this is the kind of the specifics about what a deck does. But the cool thing is it actually benchmarks you to all the other founders too. So it shows the venture scale, team, market traction, etc., and how different founders are stacking up compared to your deck. So you can see that a lot of people are missing unit economics or operating plans, but most people get the general problem and the solution right, and exit strategy. So I spent a lot of time and money developing this thing, but I think it's really good. And honestly, I think it's the best $50 you can spend on your pitch deck if you're out there raising money. So give it a whirl, and why wouldn't you, right? For the sake of $50, this is such deep feedback on your pitch deck, you'd be crazy not to. And if you've tried it, drop something in the comments. I'm really curious what you thought about how useful it was, whether it gave you some interesting feedback, or if you learned something. Happy fundraising.